Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas. I'm allowed to say that now, aren't I, with it being the 12th of December. So lovely not to see you. I can see all of you logging in at the moment, so I will give it a few minutes just to make sure that you are all with us. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you don't know who I am, then that'll be a very good start to introduce myself. My name is Hazel Baker, and I'm a London tour guide, and I've been doing it for maybe 5 years now. Anyway, combined that with my love of London seems the perfect opportunity to do a Christmas quiz. Now, we were doing them over the summer with lockdown, the original lockdown, but of course with Christmas and it getting cold and all the rest of it, well, it just seems the perfect opportunity to stay nice and warm and still be Christmassy as well. So what we have today is a Christmas quiz. So these are questions about Christmas itself, or there are questions about London at Christmas and famous people as well. So we have 6 rounds that we're going to be going through in this hour. So the first one is general knowledge. The second one is music. Third one is food and drink. Round 4 is Dickens in the city. So if you've been on my Dickens tours, then you might be at an advantage. Round 5 is Christmas traditions, a true or false round. And then round 6 is a where was I photo round. So what you should be able to see on the web page is that me in a little square, and then also next to it you have a answer sheet. So if you're able to put your name and your email address in there, please, and get to round 1, then that will be great. Hope you to do that. All right. And then what I'm going to do is put this here. This is all live. So if you have any technical issues at all, then this is the number that you can text me on. Please don't ring, because obviously I can't splice myself in half. So I don't want to stop the quiz, but I want to make sure that I can respond to any issues that anybody will have. And also make the point of not refreshing the page that you're on when you're answering the questions, because otherwise you will lose that. Okay. So shall we get on with it? Okay, lovely. All right. So just to let you know, some of these questions you might think are rather hard, or at least finding the answer to them will be, but they are multiple choice, which means even if you have no clue whatsoever, you have a 25% chance of getting it right. And that is for rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4. When we get round to round 5, with it being true or false, your likelihood of getting a right answer is increased 50%. So a shot in the dark is certainly worth it. And then also the photo round as well. Hopefully you'll be familiar with some of these places. Anyway, it's just that now there's Christmas lights. Okay, so hopefully we're all ready. And just check to make sure that no one has got any issues. Oh, lovely. Okay. So in your question sheet, you should see 1.1. And that's what we're going to be going for. Round 1, general knowledge. The question. Shakespeare wrote a play for Elizabeth I as a Christmas present. Which play was it? So you have the choice of A Winter's Tale, The Merry Wives of Windsor, Twelfth Night, or As You Like It. Shakespeare wrote a play for Elizabeth I as a Christmas present. Which play was it? I'll give you a little time to think. We'll get faster as we get into the swing of it, don't worry. All right, question 2, while I'm checking the phone. All right, we're all okay, I think. Question 2. Where did Joseph, Mary, and Jesus travel to when they left Bethlehem? Where did Joseph, Mary, and Jesus travel to when they left Bethlehem? So we've got the options of Egypt, Palestine, Samaria, and Galilee. Okay, hopefully you all know this one. Let's try it out. What were the children drinking in the first commercially produced Christmas card? What were the children drinking in the first commercially produced Christmas card? So you've got the choice of eggnog, gin, mead, or wine. No cordial as an option. Okay, number 4, 1.4. In which country was eggnog invented? In which country was eggnog invented? England, Wales, Scotland, or Ireland? Number 5. Who wrote the first ever King's Christmas message? Who wrote the first ever King's Christmas message? The options are Thomas Hardy, Joseph Conrad, Rudyard Kipling, or George Bernard Shaw. Who was the one who wrote the first ever King's Christmas message? We're on to number 6. Hope I'm going at an okay speed for you all. All right, number 6. In which century was Christmas first celebrated in England? Which century was Christmas first celebrated in England? 4th, 6th, 8th, or 10th? Okay, going to number 6. Just on number 6, number 7. Which 2 of Santa's reindeer have names meaning thunder and lightning? Which 2 of Santa's reindeer have names meaning thunder and lightning? So we've got Torsten and Vixen, Dunder and Blitzt, Comet and Blinden, Donner and Blitzen. In the poem, The Night Before Christmas, what did children have visions of? In the poem, The Night Before Christmas, what did children have visions of? The options are sugar plums, bundle of toys, a visit from St. Nicholas, or stockings full of toys? And then number 9. Which saint is celebrated on 26th of December? Which saint is celebrated on 26th of December? So some people know that as Boxing Day. So you got the option of St. Nicholas, St. Wenceslas, St. Stephen, or St. Gabriel. And the final one for round 1 is, in the novel A Christmas Carol, which was the first ghost to visit Scrooge? In the novel A Christmas Carol, which was the first ghost to visit Scrooge? Got Jacob Marley, the ghost of Christmas past, the ghost of Christmas present, or the ghost of Christmas yet to come? All right, so that's the end of the first round. Does anybody want me to repeat any questions? Send me a text. Not, we'll go on to the next round. Lovely. Okay, round 2 is music. All right, first up, are you ready? On the 9th day of Christmas, what did my true love send to me? On the 9th day of Christmas, what did my true love send to me? So the options are 9 lords of leaping, 9 maids a milking, 9 ladies dancing, 9 pipers piping. This is where you sing it in your head to try and get the right one. I won't sing it for you, don't worry. Okay, number 2. Mary's Boy Child has been a Christmas number 1 twice. Once in 1957 and the other time in 1978 by 2 different artists. Your job? Name the artists. Now, Mary's Boy Child has been a Christmas number 1 twice. Once in 1957 and then again in 1978 by 2 different artists. Name the artists. So you've got Harry Belafonte and Boney M. You got Gianni Mathias and Boney M. You got Ray Charles and Odyssey, and Harry Belafonte and Odyssey. Pick one, even if you haven't got a clue. You got 25% chance of getting it right. Okay, moving on to number 3. In which film did the song White Christmas make its first appearance? In which film did the song White Christmas make its first appearance? So you got the options of White Christmas, Christmas in Connecticut, Miracle on 34th Street, and Holiday Inn. Okay, number 4. Which carol does the following lyrics come from? Oh, the rising of the sun, the running of the deer. So hard to say that without trying to sing it. Which carol does the following lyrics come from? Oh, the rising of the sun, the running of the deer. So you got options, the holly and the ivy, it came upon a midnight clear, in the bleak midwinter, or the first Noel? You see a typo there. Okay. Okay, number 5. I'm doing rather well, I think. No technical issues so far. Good. Number 5. Which German composer wrote the music for Hark the Herald Angels Sing? Which German composer wrote the music for Hark the Herald Angels Sing? The options are Ludwig van Beethoven, Felix Mendelssohn, Johann Sebastian Bach, and Robert Schumann. So, which German composer wrote the music for Hark the Herald Angels Sing? Hope you're getting into the Christmassy spirit now. Yeah, a little bit festive. Put my tree up especially for you. All right. Number 6. The chart started in the UK in 1952. And since then, how many Christmas number 1 songs have had the word Christmas or Xmas in the title? Let me repeat that. The chart started in the UK in 1952. Since then, how many Christmas number 1s have had the word Christmas or Xmas in the title? All right, number 7. The very first Christmas number 1 in 1952 was called Here in My Heart. But who was the singer? The very first Christmas number 1 in 1952 was called Here in My Heart. Who was the singer? So you got Bing Crosby, Johnny Ray, Al Martino, and Guy Mitchell. Number 8. In 1944, the film Meet Me in St. Louis features one of our most well-known Christmas songs. Which one was it? In 1944, the film Meet Me in St. Louis featured one of our most well-known Christmas songs. Which one was it? You've got the choice of Winter Wonderland, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, or the Christmas song, Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. I'm not singing it. All right, number 9. So everyone that's been on my Victorian Christmas tour, you should know this one now. So what does the word carol mean? So when we have a Christmas carol, what does the word carol mean? Is it a circular dance accompanied by singers? Is it songs for seasons? Is it walking while singing? Or is it festive singing for groups? I'll let you decide. And the final one for round 2. Who has had the most Christmas number 1s in the UK? So who has had the most Christmas number 1s in the UK? So you've got the choice of Queen, the Spice Girls, the Beatles, and Ed Sheeran. And before we move on to round 3, just want to check that everybody's okay. No one's texted to say they want me to repeat any of the questions, so I'll check that's okay. Lovely. All right. Let's get on to food and drink then, shall we? So, food and drink, very popular subject at Christmas time, has been even in the medieval period, which some of these recipes are coming from. So, the first one up for number 1 of round 3, food and drink. In the Middle Ages, people ate a boar's or a pig's head smothered in mustard on Christmas Day. Which British city is famously associated with this hot condiment? In the Middle Ages, people ate a boar's or a pig's head smothered in mustard on Christmas Day. Which British city is famously associated with this hot condiment? You've got the choice of Nottingham, Norwich, Nantwich, or Northampton, but definitely starts with N. Okay, moving to number 2. Which Christmas dish developed from frumenti is a thick porridge of cereal, dried fruit, and spices? So which Christmas dish developed from frumenti, which was a thick porridge of cereal, dried fruit, and spices? So you have the options of Christmas pudding, mince pies, stuffing, and Christmas cake. Doesn't sound very nice, does it, frumenti? Yep, they had it in Tudor times, this one. All right, number 3. In Hungary, turkey does not feature on the Christmas menu. But what creature usually does? In Hungary, turkey does not feature on the Christmas menu. Which creature usually does? Right. What should you eat one of before each of the 12 days of Christmas for good luck? What should you eat one of for each of the 12 days of Christmas for good luck? Number 5. In the 17th century, who made mince pies illegal? In the 17th century, who made mince pies illegal? Got Charles I, Oliver Cromwell, Louis XIV, or was it Queen Anne? So who in the 17th century made mince pies illegal? Number 6. If you're lucky, you'll have some chocolate in your stocking. But when did the first chocolate house open in England? If you're lucky, you'll have some chocolate in your stocking. But when did the first chocolate house appear and open in England? Got the options of 1557, 1607, 1657, or 1707. Okay. Number 7 for food and drink. During which monarch's reign did we first start eating turkey at Christmas in England? During which monarch's reign did we first start eating turkey at Christmas in England? Was it Henry VIII, Charles II, Queen Victoria, or was it Edward VII? During which monarch's reign did we first start eating turkey at Christmas in England? Number 8. Stollen is the traditional Christmas fruit cake of which country? Stollen is the traditional Christmas fruit cake of which country? Got the options of Switzerland, Austria, Italy, and Germany. Now, this one will get you going. What is a female turkey called? The number 9 is, what is a female turkey called? Is it a pen? Is it a hen? Is it a Janie? Or a pleasant? What is a female turkey called? And number 10, to finish off the food and drink round, fruit and drink. Oh dear. Number 10, traditionally served hot at Christmas. What are the ingredients of mulled wine? Traditionally served hot at Christmas. What are the ingredients of mulled wine? So we have red wine, cranberry juice and orange. We've got red wine and lemonade. Red wine, sugar and spices, red wine and assorted fruits. Okay, that's the end of round 3 for food and drink. Done it again. Does anybody want me to repeat any others? Just checking text and WhatsApp. No, okay. So now we are halfway through. How are you feeling? Confident? Or maybe you've peaked too early? So we have done general knowledge, we have done music, and we have done food and drink. Next up, we've got Dickens in the City, a quick fire round of Christmas traditions, and then a Where in London Was I? So, round 4, Dickens in the City. Everyone seems to be okay. No one's texting, which is great. Okay, so number 1 for round 4. In A Christmas Carol, where do the young Cratchits retrieve the goose from? In A Christmas Carol, where do the young Cratchits retrieve the goose from? So you've got the options of oven door, the next door neighbours, the bakers, or the butchers. Number 2. John Leach was the original artist for A Christmas Carol, but what magazine was he known for? John Leach was the original artist for A Christmas Carol. What magazine was he known for? So you've got there Punch Magazine, Will-o'-the-Wisp, Gilbert and Beckett's Monthly Almanac, and Tomahawk. And they were all publications around that time. Okay, here we go with question number 3. Charles Dickens' first piece of writing about Christmas appeared under the title Christmas Festivities in Bell's Life in London, a weekly newspaper, and it was on the 27th of December 1835. But how old was Dickens? Charles Dickens' first piece of writing about Christmas appeared under the title Christmas Festivities in Bell's Life in London, a weekly newspaper. And this was on the 27th of December, 1835. How old was Dickens? Okay, number 4. The Book of Christmas was first published in 1836 and reprinted the following year. It was an early attempt to record and preserve the old customs. But who wrote it? So the Book of Christmas was first published in 1836 and reprinted the following year. It was an early attempt to record and preserve the old customs. But who wrote it? Number 5. Which of Dickens's novels mentions the George and Vulture at least 20 times? Which of Dickens's novels mentions the George and Vulture at least 20 times? A. Sketches by Boz. B. The Pickwick Papers. C. Oliver Twist. D. A Christmas Carol. And I have mentioned this on one of my walks. Okay. Number 6 of Dickens in the City. Dickens is widely renowned as a writer of grade A ghost stories. Which of the following did he not write? So Dickens is widely renowned as a writer of grade A ghost stories. Which of the following did he not write? So you've got the options of The Signalman, Captain Murder and the Devil's Bargain, To Be Read at Dusk, and Through the Eyes of Dead David Donne. Which one did he not write? Number 7. How many copies of A Christmas Carol were printed for the first edition? How many copies of A Christmas Carol were printed for the first edition? So we have 4,500, 5,000, 5,500, and 6,000. All right, so number 8 next. Why would Dickens know the sponging house on Cursitor Street well? Why would Dickens know the sponging house on Cursitor Street well? So is it where he took regular baths? Is it where he bought presents for his wife? Is it where he secretly met his mistress Ellen Lawless Ternan? Or is it where he would visit his father? All right, number 9. Hamlet is mentioned in the opening paragraphs of which of Dickens's work? Hamlet is mentioned in the opening paragraphs of which of Dickens's works? So you got the options of Christmas Carol, The Hanged Man's Bride, The Goblin Who Stole Christmas, or The Mother's Eyes. And number 10, the final one for round 4. When Bob Cratchit slid down the ice on Cornhill in honour of it being Christmas Eve and ran home, where did he run home to? When Bob Cratchit slid down the ice on Cornhill in honour of it being Christmas Eve and ran home, where did he run home to? The options are Clerkenwell, Bloomsbury, Southwark, and Camden. Right, so anybody want me to repeat any of those questions? Round 4. Checking in text. WhatsApp. We're all clear. Okay, good. All right. So the next 2 should be a bit quicker because you've only got 2 options for the next one, which is round 5, Christmas traditions. So this is a true or false round. So you have got 50% chance of getting it right as well as 50% chance of getting it wrong. And don't forget, no nation seems to be so quite as skillful as mixing charity and social life, and the traditional trade guilds of London may be seen as the embodiment of both. And this is where I've got a lot of the knowledge from the City of London. So kind of focus that in mind as we are going through. So, are you ready? Just check. Let's go. Number 1. The Cutlers have an epic pre-Christmas bacchanal known as the Boar's Head Dinner. Is that true or false? The Cutlers have an epic pre-Christmas alcoholic celebration known as the Boar's Head Dinner. True or false? It's one or the other. All right, number 2. So this is a little excerpt from a newspaper, but is it talking about the right thing? Goose clubs. They're held at hundreds of public houses in London. The members pay £1 a week for 8 or 10 weeks before Christmas, and in addition to a goose, are generally entitled to a bottle of gin for their 10 shillings. It's about goose cubs. Goose clubs are held at hundreds of public houses in London. The members pay £1 a week for each 8 or 10 weeks before Christmas, and in addition to goose, are generally entitled to a bottle of gin for their 10 shillings. So true or false? Number 3. The Christmas cracker may have been invented by confectioner Tom Smith, but it was his son Walter you can blame for the paper hats. The Christmas cracker may have been invented by confectioner Tom Smith, but it was his son Walter you can blame for the paper hats. Number 4. The Victorians pioneered the idea of what a century later would be called the Christmas single. The Victorians pioneered the idea of what a century later would be called the Christmas single. Number 5. The Christmas Eve meat auction at Smithfield's Market started over 30 years ago and has been run by Hearts of Smithfields. Say that again. Number 5. The Christmas Eve meat auction at Smithfield's Market started over 30 years ago and has been run by Hearts of Smithfield. Number 6. The Last Christmas Day tube ran on the 25th of December in 1979. Let me say that one again. Number 6. The Last Christmas Day tube ran on 25th of December 1979. That was actually the day I was born. So true or false? Number 7. The tradition of indoor Christmas trees was started by Prince Albert. The tradition of indoor Christmas trees was started by Prince Albert. Number 8. In the medieval period, the marshes to the north of the city at Moorfields froze over, creating a great spot for skating. In the medieval period, the marshes to the north of the city at Moorfields froze over, creating a great spot for skating. Number 9. Medieval Londoners celebrated Christmas Day with Yule dolls, which are biscuits in the shape of people or animals and flavoured with honey, nutmeg, and lemon. Medieval Londoners celebrated Christmas Day with Yule dolls, biscuits in the shape of people or animals and flavoured with honey, nutmeg, and lemon. And the final one for Christmas traditions, number 10, here we go. During the late Victorian and Edwardian eras, casual street sellers, nicknamed gutter merchants, sold tin plate penny toys. During the late Victorian and Edwardian eras, casual street sellers, nicknamed gutter merchants, sold tin plate penny toys. And that is the final one for round 5. Would anybody like me to repeat any of that again? Just checking on text. What's that? Nothing. Alrighty. So the final one you'll be able to see in your Christmas quiz there are the pictures. They are already included, but I'll make bigger versions of them here as well. So this is number 1 for the where was I question. So the options are Granary Square, City Hall, Broadgate, and Finsbury Square. So where was I? Was I in Granary Square, City Hall, Broadgate, or Finsbury Square? So the second one, I put up a bit bigger, there you go. So where was I to take this? So you've got St Catherine's Dock, Kilburn, Kensington, or Pimlico. All right. All right, so the next one is here. Where was I? So this one's been up for a little while. But where was I? So you got the Alexandra Palace, Somerset House, Hyde Park, and Tate Britain. Here we go. This is number 4. Do love this one. So this one is, you have the option of South Molton Street, Carnaby Street, Bloomberg Passage, and Leicester Square. Okay. And then we've got number 5. So where was I? Was I at the Royal Arcade, Burlington Arcade, Piccadilly Arcade, or Prince's Arcade? And yes, they are all real arcades in London. All right, the next one. Where was I? You got the options of Rose Street, Lily Place, Floral Street, and Farm Street. All right, so the next question. Where was I? So what street was I on when I wanted to take a photo of this? Was I on Oxford Street? Was I on Knightsbridge? Was I on Regent Street? Or was I on Piccadilly? That's number 7. We've got 3 more to go. All right, so we have this one here. So is it Camden Market? Is it Borough Market? Is it Neal's Yard? Or is it Ham Yard? And then here we are for number 9. Where was I when I took this? I had to hack my way through all the selfie takers. So was I at Waterloo Place? Was I at Regent Street? Was I on the Strand? Or was I on Fleet Street? And the very last one. There we go. So which street was I on here? Was I on Regent Street, Jermyn Street, Piccadilly, or Oxford Street? Okay, so does anybody want me to show any other questions at all that we've gone through? Because we have now completed the final question to round 6, which is the very final one that we have. Which means that if you are ready, you are able to press submit, and I will start seeing the responses in. They're coming through. This is where I need an emergency tap dance or something, or a glamorous assistant, while I see the people's answers coming through. You should be able to get your points. You should be notified of those. Let's have a look. Whee! All right. Okay, so let me just hide a few personal detail bits, and then I'll be able to share with you how everyone did. Okay, so let me just put these in order. Ooh, I say. Okay. All right. So if I'm just going to take a screen grab of this one will show you your overall score, which you should have received by now anyway. But it does mean that I can, here we go, add it into the overall. So you get to see how you do compared to everybody else. Make sure I've got that on. Yeah, lovely. All right, are you ready? Drum roll, please. Here we go. Is that any better? All right, so This is everybody on the thing. Let me just take the little ticker off, because hopefully you've got all of that now, so you can see the very last one. Okay, so the top 5. So we have 3 at 32 out of 60. So well done, Andrew, Jenny, and Chris, and Emia. So well done, 32 out of 60. 35, we've got 2 people as well, Simon and also Sue Garland, Worthington. Well done, congratulations. 38, Norman and Anne. Well done. And 44, Chris. Wow, that's a really impressive score there, Chris. Well done. I mean, it doesn't make any difference where you came into this list. It goes to show you that not everybody knows everything about London, including me. But I thought I'd share with you some of, just want to make sure everyone can see that. Just check my texts. Yeah. So it just goes to show you how much there is to learn about London, even for Londoners that are born and bred here. So if I give you the answers to some of the visual ones first, while I'm in the system here. So this is Granary Square in King's Cross. Yeah, it doesn't look very much during the day, but in the night they've lit it up rather nicely. This is Kensington. In Kensington, this is the Churchill Arms. It's named that because his grandparents are believed to have frequented there. And it's also, they've actually got trees, if you can see there, they're all illuminated, looking rather fantastic. This one here is Tate Britain. So there is an art installation. Well, I started off with Diwali, but it's there all the way until the 31st of January. And it's by an artist called Chilia Kumari Singh Burman. So absolutely free for you to see that one. This one is on South Moulton Street, and I do like the blue, the warmth of the blue on this, and I like how I'm being able to walk through them. Royal Arcade. So this one is just off Old Bond Street. This is Floral Street in Covent Garden. So if you walked down that picture there, you'll get to James Street, which is where the exit of Covent Garden tube station is. All right, this is Fortnum & Mason's, which is on Piccadilly. And yesterday I released another podcast, and this one is about old London shops. And the 2 that I talk about is, one is Fortnum & Mason's, and also the other one is Berry Brothers and Rudd, both in St James's, both over 300 years old. So very interesting there. So that's just londonguyslywalks.co.uk/podcast, and it's the latest episode, only relaunched yesterday on that one. Okay, then this one here is Neal's Yard. So you can see Neal's Yard Remedy lit up in the shop, but there's actually quite a few Neal's Yards around. So it could have been a red herring if I'd been that evil. This one is Waterloo Place. So this is at the very bottom of Lower Regent Street. And this area has been given a big transformation. £500 million have been injected in here to upscale the area. So a lot of it was built by John Nash, or designed by John Nash, during the reign of George IV, or the Prince Regent. So I think it's a nice area to that's, it's done worth, and all managed by the Crown Estate as well. It's all beautifully done, I think. And this one is Regent Street. This was quite a toughy one, because there are actually lights on, these kind of lights on Lower Regent Street, Upper Regent Street, and Jermyn Street. But these are the biggest ones, and you can tell that by the fantails that we have on Regent Street. So there you go. So hopefully you've enjoyed this, ladies and gents, and you found it worthwhile and something to do on a cold Saturday night. It's been my absolute pleasure to have you this evening. I really do hope you've enjoyed it. If you want more detailed response to the answers that I have, I'm very happy to give you. Ping me a message or an email. Sometimes you really do need that itch to be scratched, and I'm happy to do the scratching for you. But don't forget, we've got lots of other things to be coming on with. We have a virtual Christmas lights tour, but in January we're going to be starting a monthly sort of like a virtual tour pack, and the first one for January is going to be London street art. So not just street art in Shoreditch, which we do a physical tour of. I'm going to be incorporating street art that you see across London as well, because if you're going to be doing it virtually, might as well make the most of it. So I will be sending details out when everything is up and bookable on the website. So thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a healthy and happy New Year. And who knows, I might see you on the next virtual tour. Take care now. Bye-bye.